ready? Yeah, give me 2 claps to the Ric Flair. So what you're looking at right there is a guy who made really poor choices. That's 25 years old, broke. Are we in the same room right now? Can you guys relate to that guy right there? Have you guys ever been broke? So what happened to me 25 years ago, or when I was 25 years old, is I met the bottom. I met the bottom. I remember praying to God saying, Lord, take this from me, whatever it takes. That was the only prayer that I understood, was take this from me, whatever it takes. And I woke up 3 days later in the back of a cop car. And as I'm in the back of the cop car, all jacked up on pain pills, I heard that prayer, take this from me, whatever it takes. And I remember going, God, not like this, God. I'm just looking for an abracadabra. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like go to jail and change my life. Like, I just need some abracadabra. I don't want to be jacked up anymore. But what I realized when I was this person, because I was always an entrepreneur, but I was taking every shortcut that I understood. And those shortcuts will take you to a place of desperation every time. But the grace that we talked about yesterday, that grace will always fulfill. There's always a second chance. You're never out of the fight until you're no longer breathing. And some of you guys are feeling that desperation. Maybe it's not an addiction today, but maybe that desperation is in your payroll. Maybe that desperation's in your sales staff. Maybe that desperation's in your family. And if you're listening to here and you're putting your chips in, there's gonna be grace, but the question is, are you willing to go all in? Because if you're here today, you're an all-in kind of people. Let me hear you say all in. All in. Let me hear you say all in. All in. So that's what I did, is I just went all in. I was like, you know what? Everything that I did was all in. When we're out there at the bar, we're all in. When we're out there with our buddies, we're all in. So now I'm gonna be all in for something different. I'm gonna be all in for my family. I'm gonna be all in for my legacy. And that's what's important. Are you all in for your legacy? Say all in for my legacy. Yeah. Then you got to understand what you're capable of. So I started over making $7.65 an hour. Can you believe that? $7.65 an hour. I started all over, but I began to take my addiction and I became that grunt worker that Lee was talking about yesterday. I became the guy that woke up and said, I gotta be up at 4:30, I gotta be home at 7 o'clock. And what happened was, I began to work 90 hours a week, ended up 260 pounds. My wife was threatening me with divorce once a week. Come on now, we are. Hey, give me a Ric Flair if you've been threatened because you work too much. Yeah, and that's not the case, man. And I thought the harder I try, the better I should do. But that's not the case. You gotta understand systems and processes. You gotta learn how to maximize your day. If I just get up and go, I'm flying and blind. You ever just keep trying harder? It's like you're in quicksand. The harder you move, the deeper you go. You get another sale, but you don't have the processes in the back. So you got more money, but you just put all the stress on your production. Your production is saying, I need more help. And you're going, I can't have no more payroll. And you go, sell, sell, sell. Give me a Ric Flair if you felt that. Yeah, I know you did. We can manifest anything that we want. You can manifest it. But I promise you this, whatever you put in that ground is gonna pop up. Whatever you sow, you're going to reap. So if you're sowing into your community, guess what? Your community is gonna sow back into you. You wanna start getting blessed, you wanna start having revenue in the communities that you're working in, start sowing into the communities and watch those communities sow back into you. And when you begin to have those sale processes and you have that lean in your life and you're all in, not all in like, well, that's a little too much money. You're actually all in. You learn how to maximize your day. Then you end up with a beautiful family like that. Look at that family. Is that beautiful? Give my family a Ric Flair. That's what it's about right there, guys. If you're not at home the person you are all day long, then you're missing the mark. If the strangers get the best part of you and you give the leftovers to your husband or wife, you're missing the mark. All of this is for nothing if you don't leave the legacy to your children and your wife doesn't smile when you come home. What I always tell my clients is this: treat your family like the strangers you're trying to sell. let her and them know that they matter. And as you get your house in order, I promise your business will be in order.